Hey y'all, what's going on? How y'all doing on Wednesday? What? So today is Wednesday. How's everybody doing? It's hump day, right? Yes, 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 yes. It is Wednesday. Well, I've had a pretty good day. I haven't done much today, as usual, right? Been at home, did some schoolwork with Zane. Um, let's see, just had dinner, straightened up. Jonathan cooked, him and Larice cooked dinner tonight. They made beef tips, rice. He made some candied carrots and yams and peas, green peas, sweet peas, English peas, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, yeah, that's what we had for dinner. Oh, goodness, yo, that little boy can cook. I did a good job. He can make rice from scratch, long rice, just straight, just out the bag in the pot, wash it and make it. He can cook it, and it'd be perfect every time. So I taught him how to. He can do a little something, something, to say the least. But so I want to ask y'all. Y'all remember what we saying, right? Is it clean or is it dirty? Right? Is it clean or is it dirty? If it's dirty, it can't be clean. Right? That's the common sense part of coronavirus. Um, Also, I want to tell y'all, look, let me tell y'all. So I think I'm going to start talking about my shows that I watch on TV. A lot of y'all probably don't know this, but I love trash TV, y'all. That is my guilty pleasure. Is trash TV. And when I tell you I like trash TV, I mean I watch it all. From Little Women Atlanta to all the housewives to Top Chef. Well, that's not really trash TV, but it's a reality, it's a competitive show. I love all the Love and Hip Hops, right? So yes, I love trash TV. So what I think I'm going to do is start when I watch them, just kind of talk about them during while I'm talking with you guys. What y'all think about that idea? I don't know who all watches, or if you have a show you watch, maybe I can see what's going on with it. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I absolutely love trash TV. And that includes a whole wide spectrum of TV, but I love trash TV. And yeah, I watch it by myself. When I can't sleep, I'll be up on my iPad watching TV, right? It's a shame, but that's what I do. And God for YouTube TV. We no longer pay cable bill here. Oh, excuse me, y'all. It's Wednesdays, day after my methotrexate, so it's a day. I've been nauseous all day. Wednesdays are usually pretty rough, but my hair looks pretty good today. You see it, you guys see. It looks a little not so dry or fluffy. I need a haircut, but Ron DeSantis they still got the salons and stuff on lockdown, y'all. Make sure y'all reach out to your people now. Your personal people who take care of your personal care. The people that do your hair or do your waxing, your esthetician, your cosmetologist, the person, your hair colorist, right? Those people that you see, you guys go on and get the gift certificates and just use the gift certificates. But right now, that'll help them get through this month. So, just a suggestion, but yes, let's support. Hey, Lexus, how you doing? But I'm yelling like you can hear me. Sorry, but give your husband and my brother a hug for me, please. Tell him I said I love him, and AJ too. But yeah, so anyway, we can't get our haircuts still here in Florida, and yeah, I try to obey the rules. Not that I have to obey the rules, but I try to be part of the team. You know what I'm saying? And try to do what everybody else is doing. Not necessarily follow what everybody else is doing, but try to just be smart. You know what I'm saying? But I really wish they would open up all our stuff. Yes, because my hair is, like I say, and my beard. For all of my ladies out there, that wax or electrolysis won't work, because that won't work for my beard, because a lot of it's gray hair. There's no color pigment. There's no pigment in the hair follicles, so therefore it won't work to kill it. I don't understand how that works, because I don't understand it, but it was explained to me by an esthetician, so I know she knows what she's talking about. So I just have a beard of gray hair, right? It's kind of crazy, but look, y'all, this thing needs some attention. But you know, what can you do, right? You got to stay home. So it is what it is. But so let me tell y'all something. I've been watching this DJ. I don't know if y'all see what I've been sharing on Facebook. DJ Chalet, Shale. Y'all, she be riding. You hear me? She in Atlanta, Georgia. But she be riding. I'm talking from reggaeton to soca to calypso, Latin, R&B, hip hop, and I'm talking New York, Cali, Chicago house, some go out of B more. I mean, she be riding, y'all. Like I said, it DJ Chalet, Shale. She on Twitch. Y'all, she be riding. Y'all know I love music. And it don't be none of that old Johnny Taylor stuff. So y'all know I kind of salty about that. But she ride. She get the job done on her little, and she mixed too. So she's pretty good. I like watching her. But anyway, if y'all get bored and want to listen, she do show on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on Twitch. And for your nail people, pedicure people, guys, you can even get gift certificates for that too. I know I'm kind of all over the place. Sorry about that. But yeah, I do have me some notes, y'all. I've been writing some notes so I can have some little pointers about what I want to talk about. But my top one is trash TV. I want to make sure y'all understood how much I enjoy trash TV. But so I'm going to pick up with my story. The part of it, what I want to focus on tonight and what I thought about is I want to talk about how my journey has been guided, but I didn't see the guide. So, and that's the truth. And that this is how I feel. This is my resolve. This is the peace that I have. You don't have to agree. You don't have to understand. You don't even have to appreciate it. You don't even got to listen if you don't want to. But I had a guide that I did not see. So imagine growing up, no mother, no father. My mother was there, but we've discussed previously that she was not really a mother. So in action, right? She was a mother indeed, because she carried me and gave birth to me, but she was not a mother in action. So that's just it in a nutshell. But, and my father wasn't there, right? I saw my first psychotherapist when I was 5 years old. I have been under pretty regular counseling since I was 15 when I first went into foster care, which I aged out of foster care. I was in high school. The day I graduated, my graduation night, I spent with a married man, because I had been dating him for almost 2 years. I was like 16 when I started talking to him. And, and he wasn't the only person that I was dealing with. I didn't value myself, right? No STDs, no pregnancies. I was protected in a way, but at the same time, every time I was exposing myself, right, to all of these different parts of these men, that was how I covered up my pain, right? I did not see value in my physical body. The only thing my body was good for at that time to me was to get what I wanted. My body was nothing more than a tool to use. I made a lot of poor choices, right? I did. Y'all know they talk about when I was in foster care, but then when I went in the Navy, right, that was when I met Julian, right? I met my husband right after boot camp, right in Great Lakes. But then he went to San Diego. I went to Pensacola, where I was a hoe. Then I went back to Chicago, where I was still a hoe. And then I went to Florida, where I was a hoe. Had Jonathan, I had Summer in Chicago, Jonathan. Then I was still a hoe, right? In Virginia, I was a hoe, y'all. That's just all. There's no, they say how sailors have women in all those ports. I used to keep me a man or two or three in a port. We'd be, men from Italy and Spain would be asking me when we were pulling in port. Let me just be honest. I had pen pals. You understand? So, but that it was a way to get what I wanted. That's all it was. It wasn't about sex. It was strictly about me using what they wanted to get what I wanted. And that was my way of coping. I mean, I have brothers I was in the Navy with who used to tell people, talk about, man, you don't want to talk to her. She thinks just like we do. She thinks just like a man. Ladies, let me tell you something. It took me a long time, but back then that was it, baby. I was one of the fellas. I have brothers that I have never had any type of chemistry other than brother and sister with them. You understand? We have fought together, drank together, smoked together. We ain't never F together. You understand? Okay. So, but I rolled with them. It was me and them. Right, exactly. It was me and them. I'd be the only girl. And we would be in the bars, in the clubs in Norfolk, in Chicago, tearing shit up, y'all. Getting throughout the club in chicken wings like this. That's the life I lived because I did not care. I did not understand. Not that I didn't care. I did not know, nor did I understand how to love me. Now, I loved me in regards to I protected me. I hustled. I was independent. I took care of my kids. I took care of my family, those that I love. That don't mean they were blood, but those people that I have called family, they know who and where I am. But they loved me more than I loved me. I loved them more than I could love me. And that's one reason why I've always been so loyal and so committed to my relationships that I value, because I can love and take care of them, right? I can be there for them. It doesn't matter what we doing. We gonna do it together. But those people that I ran into were my guides along the way. They were the people and the things used to help me find the things that I needed, the traits that I needed to love me. And I could sit here and I could tell you about certain people and how they loved me and how now I can love myself because of their love. You know, the guy on here, Charles Birch, We Navy together. We met we was in Virginia, and y'all, that's my brother. When he met Julian, the second time around, they wanted to know who he was and what his intentions were. I had been single forever. I'm talking about all my brothers was married and dating, and I'm showing up to. I'm the one in the pictures. I have a picture with there are let's see, Sarah, Nadi, Cochran, and Hadley and Hadley wife at the time. It's six of them and then me. There's seven of us in the photo, but I'm the only chick, right? I'm the only single one. That was in Virginia, but that's how I roll. I ain't had nobody I had talked to but ask questions. You understand? I was doing too much to have to talk to anybody. But the thing is, in saying that, is that as I went through these different stages and as I have looked back, right, over my life, now that once you find peace, right, once you find peace and love for yourself, when you look back, it looks different. I know y'all, look here, I know some of y'all on here feel me when I'm gonna say, do you remember like chilling, getting ready before the club or on the way to the club, whatever you was riding with? If you was home and mad, you listening to some, I don't even know, you listening to some LSG, the check is in the mail or something, you know what I'm saying? But you sitting here, you going through all of these emotions and you're drinking and you're dealing with it, right? But once you have peace, when you look back over it, it don't cause those reactions. For instance, I have always been a fighter since I was a little girl in Orangewood. I have always, anybody that knows me and that has known me, the span of my life will tell you I would fight fast. It didn't matter. Man, woman, child, elderly, I didn't care. But I was so angry, y'all. I was so angry. That's why that stuff was okay. Man, I don't want to fight nobody no more. And I know that's crazy to hear for those that know me. I don't want to fight. Now, I will. Let's not get that twisted, right? But I do not want to. I used to look for a fight. Like my military brothers, they used to there'd be chicks in the club bothering them. They'd say, get her, point her out. I go tag her. I just liked it. So that's what I did. But, you know, I think about that and how angry I was. And I remember being a youth, right, at First Baptist. And it was almost like they were scared to talk about what they knew was going on, right? Because as adults, I'm sure that they all knew I was in foster care and things. But they were afraid to talk to me, to ask me about it. No one ever. Look, y'all don't be them church people. Do not be them church people. Talk to your people, if the kids at your church, the youth, if they're different, they don't fit in, whatever, figure it out. Because I'm going to tell you something. I was sitting in that church angry, full of hate. I didn't care that I didn't sit with the youth group and sat by myself. I didn't care that people talked about me. I didn't care. It didn't matter, right? And yet I'm still, why was I even going to church, y'all? What was I going, so my Mima would be happy? That's what I was going for. But the people at the church never once tried to help me. So I was literally the only people to try to. I was literally guided and I didn't know I had a guide. I was protected. Yes, I was sexually assaulted. My mother's husband was charged with sexual battery. I went into foster care. My mother sided with him even after he pled guilty. She walked out of the courtroom with him, left me in there. Even after all of that, guys, I'm still sitting here right now. All the fights, all the drinking, all the fights, all the men. Y'all. And I'm here, whole, complete, a little bit of crazy, but whole and complete are 90% of the package. That's amazing, guys. I'm not supposed to be here, right? The plan was, whoever's plan it was, somebody wanted to just try to take me out. But it didn't work at all. Guys, I can't even, one day I guess we'll talk about things as we go along, but y'all just don't know. Some of you do, but the situations I had put myself in because I didn't love myself. I didn't value myself. What I valued was what I could get from others. Now, I'm going to be real clear. I ain't never lied to nobody. They knew they was not the only one. The only man I've ever been with that I have been faithful to both times we were together is my husband, Julian. I was faithful to him when we were first together, and I was faithful to him, since we've been back together and got married. But no, I can't say that about any other relationship I had. Even my previous marriage, because I was married to Summer's father. And we both was hoes, let's just tell the truth. And it just did not work. So, it's okay though. It is okay. So I say that because I want you guys to understand. Anybody that sees this, what I want you to understand is no matter how bad it is, no matter, hear me, how bad it is, no matter what it looks like, no matter how you feel, no matter what other people think, you will be okay. As long as you're honest with yourself and you deal with the trauma. Okay. So there are, and I say all of this to say, there are people that I went to high school with that don't know these things about me. Right? It's the truth. I'm not hiding me, period. And I'm not ashamed. Look, I haven't done nothing that I regret. Now, I've done some real stupid shit, but I ain't never done nothing I regret. I even dated a guy. He pissed me off. I hit him with his own car. Sure did. I didn't care. I didn't value anything. Nothing. My motto was, I would rather my kids see me from jail than visit my graveside. And I lived that reckless. I'm so glad that when I was created, was created with a guide. When I was created, it was predetermined where I would be sitting right now. Is what I'm saying is that all the hell I went through possibly was predetermined too? Maybe the creator saw fit, right? Maybe God saw fit, because I believe God is the creator. Let's not get anything confused here, since I'm not, but I'm trying to keep this pretty neutral, right? But anyway, so but if he knew when I was created to withstand and overcome what was coming. So that means he knew, right? Is that a tough pill to swallow? Very much so. But it's the truth. Either I trust in God completely or I don't, right? There's absolutely no way that we can sit and say, oh, well, God created everything, but he didn't know I was going to be sexually assaulted. He didn't know I was going to be talking about cutting my stepmom up and mailing her around the world so my father would come back home to my mother at 5 years old. I believe that God knew all of those things, even down to the day in the courtroom when my biological mother walked out of the courtroom with the man who pled guilty to 11 charges. She walked out of the courtroom with him and left me there. I was placed in permanent foster care. Yes, even God knew that. From before I was created, I believe that. I believe with my entire being when he says, I knew you before you was formed in your mother's womb. I believe that with everything in me. So, because I believe that, that is my faith, God continues to show me where peace is, joy, love, how to love me. And I know y'all see me, y'all probably see me, you don't see, I don't wear makeup that often anymore. I don't really dress that often anymore. I just kind of throw on some clothes. I can't wear heels anymore. I can't wear certain shoes anymore. So I know that I look like, but what I'm telling you guys is when I looked like $1 million, I felt like negative $1 million. So I say that to say, don't judge a book by its cover. Because I'm telling y'all, I was a bad mamma jamma. Child, I had driven down the road in Virginia. I'm not talking about here in itty bitty Stock. I'm talking about the 7 cities. Drove down the road and dudes followed me back to my apartment and asked me what my name is. Because I be just saying to my little cute little dresses back in the day. Child, my fat behind can't get no cute dress now. But what I'm saying is, look out for your people. Those people that you love, that you know who appear one way, right? If anyone is self-sabotaging, that means you are making choices that are not in your best interest. You don't really love you. You can't. Because listen, if you're a parent and you love your kid, you can't just treat them anyway. If you love you, you can't just treat yourself anyway or allow others to treat you anyway. If you know somebody that is a pushover, honey, they don't love themselves. They are just as angry and resentful of their self as I was out there dressing, looking, and being a hoe and fighting all the time. Period. Yes, I did a lot of drinking. Y'all, look, uh, I ain't never smoked no cigarette. I ain't never used no cocaine or no other drugs other than marijuana. We all know I'm a regular cannabis consumer. But I never, there are certain things I just never did. But all of those things equal self hurt. And if you are self hurting, you need a therapist. You need, and I don't care, like I said, I don't care what self hurt looks like. I don't care if you're the baddest bee in the hood. If you're self harming, which multiple sex partners is self harming, it's actually the only harm we do to our own body or sexual deviances, right? Sexual escapades, sexual whatever you're doing. Those are the only things that we do to our own body, right? Unless you cut or however you do with things. But what I'm saying is, if you don't love yourself enough or haven't gotten to a place with yourself where you're not harming yourself in any way. Because let me tell you something, love does not harm. It may hurt sometimes, but it does not harm anyone. So you can leave, agree, disagree, like I said in the beginning, but that is the truth. And that is the reason to where I am. I was a hoe for a long time, y'all. I married Julian and I got married in 2011. I gave my life to Christ for real, officially, after all the hurt, right? Because let me tell you something. I had to get past all of this hurt before Julian could come for me, because I would have ruined him if he would have came any sooner. But I gave my life to Christ officially. No jokes, no turning back. Ain't went back to none of that stuff. In 2007. Now, I started going to New Life in 2002. So I was in church then. However, I went back to what I knew. I went back to what was comfortable. When I first got saved, I got broke. I was living in Gardenia. I wasn't hustling. And I remember one night at church, and they took up offering, and I had $5. That's all I had left. I put that $5 in that plate. That's all I had left, y'all. I was a single mom, living in Gardenia at the time, tearing up stuff out there, acting a fool. But I did not love myself. I wanted others to think I was okay. I wanted others to think I had it together. And baby, for some things I had it together. You hear me? Still do. But I had no self-value. And I've made a lot of mistakes, guys. I've been in situations and done things that ain't up but grace and mercy that I'm still alive and not in prison. And I can say that because that's the truth. However, I had to do it myself. I had to decide. When I gave my life to Christ the last time, right? When I made my mind up, I was going to live a life according, I was going to live a different life, period. Because the way we live is different in all areas. People don't agree with a lot of stuff we do. But anyway, we're not any type of religion. We non-denominational over here. Let's just go there. But anyway, I had to love myself, guys. Like I was celibate. Those of y'all that know me, y'all know I'm crazy. Because I've never kept secrets about who I was. Anybody that has been in my life over the years knows where I've been and who I was. Because it was like it is now. I ain't have no secrets. I still don't got none. I don't have any secrets. Anything you want to know, I'm the one to ask because I'm going to tell you. But I was celibate from 2008 to 2011. But let me tell you something. I went through so much hell in those 3 years just trying to find a balance in me, right? And then Julian came back in my life. We got married. Then we get married. My sister dies. I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia and something else. I don't remember what it was because they ended up saying that wasn't what was going on anyway. But Julian is the first man that has loved me intimately, completely, because I trust him so he can love me like that, right? It had to be that way for me to go through all I've been through to get to where I'm at. Because could you imagine if I'd have loved every guy the side eye is real. I'm going to be real honest with you. Me and Lisa did a count in, I don't know what year that was. We was in I think we was in Virginia. Might have been in Chicago. And I, at that point, had been with over 100 men. I ain't never been with no woman. That don't interest me. I don't care what y'all do. It don't interest me, right? But I had been with over 100 men, and I didn't slow down for years. Men was my hustle, period. You know, I had other hustle, but we ain't gonna talk about all that on here. But men was my hustle. I would fight them and then make them take me shopping. And by fight them, I'm talking fist fights. Like we was throwing down like we was Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson. That type of fighting I was doing with men I was in relationships with. But I love myself. There's no way. The two of those two things don't go together. Give me a second. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I lived my life, right? And I'm not there anymore, right? And so now I have to reach back. I have to go tell the stuff from behind me so that I can help someone else that may be there so they ain't got to go through all of this, right? We can miss this trash, right? And I want somebody just to take my hand and just talk to me and let me, or you help them over the mess. Now, believe me, there are some of us that got to go through hell, right? Because that's the only way we learn. Thank God I finally stopped that self-sabotaging mindset too. Y'all may not believe it, but you got to learn stuff the hard way. Look, that's not a positive thing to say. It really isn't. It's not a laugh. It's not a joke. But there are those of us that is how we have to go through life. Y'all, it's terrible that people will go through these things and they're alone. Y'all, I was never alone. I always kept people around me. And people that love me, we always were together. But no one ever said to me, April, why do you hate yourself? And that's a real question. Why do you hate yourself? And that sounds crazy because you may be thinking about yourself and thinking about you got this going on. Maybe you got, a banging body. And maybe you got all of these men and this money coming after you. Baby, I've been there, done that. You ain't say, and ain't nothing I'm telling you, I ain't got a witness for. And let me tell y'all, what I'm telling, there's 80% I ain't said nothing about yet. So, yeah, it's a lot. It's over 30 years worth of crap. But if you love yourself, there will be a standard you will have. I don't care. You can be young and having fun and doing your thing. You can label it however you want to. But hear me, whether you're a young woman or a young man, if you love and value yourself, there are certain things you're not going to do. I used to then hang around with females. Ooh, child. You hear me talk about my brothers, right? When I was just the only girl. When I used to hang out with my brothers around here. Big Daddy and them. Man, Nick. We used to just hang out and I would be the only chick with them. I wasn't doing that with them. They was my brothers. I couldn't stand women. I didn't understand. Now, there have been a couple of years that I have met, one named Erica. Oh, Lord, she changed my life in the way I feel about women. And she is the prettiest young woman I know. But I learned a lot from her. She was one of the first women my age that I saw that was wholesome. You know what I'm saying? You have those people that, it's women. You have those girls who ain't real hoes. Then you have those chicks that are ho-hos. Then you have the ones that's just kind of hoe, they just hoe when necessary. Then you got, those that's just how they live it. And, but you have to know and be honest with yourself and with those that you know. Have real conversations with your friends. Talk to them. Don't just let them keep making mistakes, right? Don't let your friend continue to Do things. Now, if they choose to, don't stop being their friend. I mean, what is that, right? But if you haven't never had a heart to heart with them, do it. And if you're watching this and you are that young lady that I was in my 20s, 30s, right? If you're that young lady, ask yourself a couple of questions, or young man, because boy, there's the men out here. But I'm gonna tell you something, fellas. These young women giving y'all a run for y'all money. Child, they wide open. It's something. And women, older women, middle-aged women, y'all know who I'm talking about. You're over 38, I'm talking to you. If you're over 40, I'm talking to you. You got to be an example, right? They need to be able to come to you, talk to you. And even if they don't talk to you, they need to be able to see the difference. So I wonder how many of you women are going to start being an example for those that you see or talk to. There is no one, let me tell you something. If I talk to you and you come to me and we're talking, I'm going to be so honest with you that you may get mad. Sorry, I can't help it. But also, if you're getting mad, how much is what's being said true? You know, there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of ways, right? The way I have been through or what I've done isn't the only way to get through stuff, right? Like, some people don't need to do all that fighting. I just was angry. And so I was good at fighting. So I just did it a lot. But I was so foolish. I don't regret any of it. I have amazing memories, right? I've had some good fights and some good clubs and went and had a good breakfast after. I'm just saying it happens, right? Or have a good fight at the club and go back to somebody's house and keep drinking. That's what you do. Unless they call shore patrol, then the whole situation changes. But, you know, you have fun. But I want y'all to just think about those things. Think about if you're in a tough situation or you've been through a lot of things, and what I'm saying, you know that you don't really love yourself. Because the truth is, I knew I didn't really care. I was too reckless to care, right? But I hated myself enough that I didn't care at all what I was doing to me and to others, right? Because I was dogging them out. I was letting them know this is it. I was what I mean, they were some of those guys were decent. Like they were, but I might have messed them up. Look, made them tough for another woman. Because I was a fool. So our actions have reactions in other people's lives. Are you accountable for your actions? Because that's all we can do. But I'm gonna go. That's it for tonight. If y'all have any questions or anything in particular you want to ask me about, anything part of my life in particular I ain't covered, or something I've talked about, maybe you got more questions, look, I'm here. This is a book, an open book. So you can ask anything and I will answer you. So I don't mind. Again, I want you all to take care of yourselves. I want you all to remember that balance is key. I want you all to know that it's going to be all right, right? It doesn't look that way. It may not feel that way right now, but it will be. I want those of y'all that see this, that have been, you know who you are if if you're part of my heart. So I want, and if you're my family, y'all know who you are. And man, I love you guys. And I thank each and every one of you for being there with me along my journey and my crazy, and for loving my crazy, right? You love the way I was created, and I love you guys for that. Just remember, till I talk to y'all again on Friday, is it clean or is it dirty? If it's dirty, it can't be clean. Just remember that. Is it dirty? Is it clean? We always want to stay clean, right? That's how we protect ourselves. Again, go out, buy from your esthetician, your cosmetologist, your pedicure, your manicure people, whoever it is. Go, call, see if you can get gift certificates. If you can, go ahead and pay for your services. That way they stay on top for this month and you're still covered. You can still use those. Businesses. If you teeter-totter and might not be able to open, don't sell none of us no gift certificates, okay? Don't hustle us and then close down. I got to cover both sides, right? I always try to look from the opposite side of where everybody else is looking, just so that we all keep a balanced perspective. So, yeah, that's it. Y'all be careful for them murder hornets. And let's see what else going on. Oh, and the DJ Chalet. DJ Shale. Chalet, y'all. She be riding. And she be on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. So she was on last night for Cinco de Mayo. She played Latin music all night. She played Latin music for 2.5 hours. It was off the chain. You know, she played some bachata. You know. Yes, it was good. But yep, so y'all just take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Good night.